To support his claim that Maitreya and the Masters are here and ready to help solve our most critical problems, Benjamin Creme presented 3 categories of evidence at his news conference. One category of evidence, a continuous wave of miraculous events, has already been reported by news media, although, says Mr. Creme, reported as separate phenomena, without knowing that these events all have a common cause, Maitreya and the Masters.
He has created millions of phenomena, miracles, which now daily bedazzle all those who come in contact with them. The visions of the Madonna, which, for example, appear to the children at Medjugorje every evening and give them secrets. Similar visions which have occurred in many countries, wherever there are Christian groups around the world. Statues which weep real tears and blood. The statues, as in iron, which open their eyes and close them again. There is a 35-foot rainbow-colored Madonna which adorns a bank in Florida. People come every day to see this miracle, which was vandalized and has restored itself to its original pristine color. The icon of Jesus in Sydney, Australia, a large crucifix, which leaks liters of pure olive oil. These are signs. To the religious person, the sign that God is there, God is real, God is looking after them. They think it is an act of God. Well, it is not an act of God. These miracles are the very definite acts of a science unknown to us, but known to all the masters, the science of the relationship between matter and energy, and the interchange of energy into matter and matter back to energy. Now, the evidence of all of this is being shown in these extraordinary miracles. The 40-foot high crosses of light which adorn a fundamentalist Christian Baptist church in Tennessee. Then, it happens a lot in England, holy messages. When housewives cut the vegetables, they find that the seeds of the fruit are rearranged and spell out, Allah is great, Muhammad is his prophet. Healing waters which have appeared worldwide, as at Tlacote in Mexico, some of the most miraculous cures from cancer and AIDS down to warts and boils have been miraculously cured in this way. Such wells are being created by Maitreya all over the world. One in Germany, a place called Nordenau, where thousands of people have taken the water, and one north of New Delhi, where suddenly an empty well gushed this water, which was found to have miraculous healing properties. Eventually, there will be 777 of such healing wells distributed all over the world, and this will have a most profound effect on the health of humanity in the future. There is no end to this perfectly pure healing water which has been magnetized by Maitreya with cosmic energy, and it is this which gives it its extraordinary healing properties. I think probably one of the greatest miracles that the world has ever seen on the widest possible scale is the milk miracle, which occurred in the Hindu community, north, south, east and west, wherever Hindus did puja in September 95. The milk was offered to the gods and the milk disappeared. It looked in every case as if the statues lapped up the milk. It disappeared in seconds. In New Delhi, everything stopped. Parliament closed. Millions of people took to the streets with their cans of milk. In fact, after 4 days, they ran out of milk. Of course, these gods made of wood and teak and bronze and copper and so on did not drink the milk. The miracle is not that they drank the milk. The miracle is that the milk disappeared. It was made to disappear by Maitreya and a group of masters who specialize in this particular type of miracle. Also, there is a Lebanese Muslim child who weeps razor-sharp crystals, and yet absolutely harmless. She said that a man on a white horse, dressed in white, told her that this was going to take place and not to be frightened, and it was a great spiritual sign for the Muslims of Lebanon. And in this way, he is making his voice heard to the religious groups who need this kind of sign. It gives them hope, the hope that there is a spiritual connection maintained between what they call God and themselves, and that the future holds hope, and that these are the signs of change in the ways of the world. And these changes will be activated by Maitreya.
A second category of evidence presented at Benjamin Krem's news conference consists of personal accounts, reports from private parties who have met very remarkable people, people who, in some cases, have saved them in the nick of time from injury or even death. These private parties have written to Benjamin Krem at Share International magazine, of which he is chief editor, and had Mr. Krem confirmed that the remarkable people they met were either Maitreya or a master. In addition to these reported encounters, there have been, according to Mr. Krem, countless others all over the world, where people had no idea that they had actually been helped by one of the masters.
There was a survey taken in America not too long ago about angels and whether people believed in angels. And it was found an extraordinary number. I think it was up around 80% of people said yes, they believed in angels, and they had had some kind of experience, some saving situation by an angel. They were healed, or they were saved from an auto accident or such like. In every single case of saving by so-called angels, you have seen a saving situation by one or other of the masters. They can make themselves appear as people imagine an angel to be. If people are a bit more sophisticated, maybe know a little more about the masters, they come to them in their own perfectly normal appearance. And all of these millions of experiences throughout the world of angels are, and growingly are, the activity of the masters.
According to Benjamin Krem, Maitreya himself has appeared to individuals and also to groups of people around the world. One of these appearances was actually documented in a newspaper report, although, says Mr. Krem, none of the media, including CNN and others who picked up the story, knew at the time that this was Maitreya.
He appeared out of the blue on the 11th of June 1988 in Nairobi in Kenya before 6,000 people. One moment he wasn't there, the next moment he's standing beside the woman who dressed in blue. Her name is Mary Akatsa. She is a fundamentalist Christian preacher, and he spoke to them in perfect unaccented Swahili, the native language, for 15 or 20 minutes, and then he disappeared as amazingly as he had come.
Another piece of evidence presented at Benjamin Krem's news conference is a declaration by a former official in the United States Information Agency. This official held a top security clearance and says that he has personally met Maitreya. He also says that other officials he worked with in the United States government, at the highest levels of other governments, and even the Vatican, know that Benjamin Krem's story is true, because these other officials say they have met Maitreya themselves. A third category of evidence can be verified by anyone with access to a library or the internet, or by news media through their archives. This evidence consists of forecasts of the future, predictions made starting in 1988, which, amazingly, included not only unpredictable events, such as major earthquakes, but also the most dramatic, unexpected shifts in political power since the Second World War. Unlike the often generalized predictions of psychics, these forecasts specified the nature of each event, the country in which it was to occur, and, if major political figures were involved, identified them by name. The predictions were published in Share International magazine and sent to news media starting in 1988. The source of these forecasts, Mr. Krem says, is Maitreya himself, who through his profound understanding of the law of cause and effect can see the consequences of human actions long before we see them in the physical world. All the evidence taken together, the wave of miracles, the growing reports of benevolent intervention in people's lives, and the astonishing forecasts of unexpected changes around the world, lends support to Benjamin Krem's claim that seemingly unexplainable, miraculous events are the work of Maitreya and the Masters, and, wondrously, are only their calling cards.